impossible for the side lanes to actually out-level mid lane with no kills right now. If you know how to control the lane and you get any sort of advantage, whether it's pushing or whatever, if you're really aggressive in that jungle, you will out-level mid lane. Just not enough EXP. Also, an actual problem that I've seen is that your left lane actually has an even bigger advantage than it used to have, because you're able to take both yellow buff and blue buff before the other lane's able to take green buff and a red buff, along with your middle lane is usually on your left lane, whether it's to take blue buff, to take yellow buff, whatever reason. So the right lane is actually in a 3v2 situation. They're actually in the defensive in the beginning of the game. So not only are they stronger just because yellow buff plus blue buff is easier to push with, but they have a better chance to invade. It's better for left lane to invade green. So again, it's a one-sided thing, and since there's so much more EXP and gold on the side lanes, it's actually nerfing roaming. And I hate to do this to Last and the other players on my team because they like playing really offensive. We all know that.
Right.
I had to pretty much sit with them and say, you have to play defensive, because roaming actually puts you behind, sadly, in this game. Whenever a person roams, if we control
doesn't put me behind, though.
It does put you behind.
Why does it put you behind?
Top farm.
That's how we catch up in golden levels against you every single time. All I have to do is tell my teammates to not overpush and not die, and right lane catches up to you, even if you have an advantage. If you stood in your lane after you had the advantage, just stopped us from getting buffs, you'd have a cleaner game.
As soon as I start roaming, though, I never fall behind in levels or farm.
And it helps that stuff lane get farm too.
Each lane I go to, I have a goal in mind. Like, I don't just roam to roam. I roam when, let's say, like, right lane's red buff is going to be up because I know the other team's going to want to contest it. Or if right lane, other guys have low on mana, I know I can do a nice tower dive or something like that and go get the shield buff that's going to respawn. So every time I go out and roam, every lane, I have a goal in mind. That doesn't put me behind at all.
Every time you go on lane, something else happens too. There's one other person in the lane that you went from. And if there's two people against that one person, he gets stuck under tower and he gets behind in the gold and the XP. Because he's under tower. The tower is hitting those creeps. He's not getting the gold he should be for those
No,
creeps.
well, if it's someone like on her, someone that can clear a wave in one hit, it's really not that bad. You're getting more XP and gold, if anything.
Well, maybe sub 6 minutes in, but after 11, 12 minutes, I think it's a moot point because that person's just be pushing the entire time.
So
and you can't control buffs with one person in lane either. So you've got that lane with their AD carry just going there from buff to buff to buff while this person is out of lane roaming. If this person says, okay, the roamer is all the way and over and right from left, then you can just take all 4 of those buffs and just get all that XP, and there's anything that one person can do about it.
It's not only that.
For the other team not knowing where I am most of the game, it creates such like confusion and havoc. So,
people don't use wards?
No.
Yeah, but I'm saying we counter ward too. I carry wards myself.
Go ahead, Wolfy.
It's actually not that hard, dude. We see you go missing and we say, yo, he's roaming. And since you're roaming, hey, we play passive. You guys get a buff, but now you're in that lane splitting EXP with someone that would have 2 people in the lane, now has 3 people in the lane. Or someone that would have one person. Buff that we normally wouldn't have. That's fine.
So that's extra
right lane.
Hold on,
but you're still splitting it with 3 people. We're splitting it with 2 people on our side.
But you're not splitting it with 2 people because you're not getting the buff.
We're getting it on right lane.
So it sounds very circular to me. So I'm just going to jump in here and ask for a little more explanation. In that, so say you're starting off. Tell me why exactly one lane has an advantage now over another from just the buff changes.
Talk to me like I'm 5.
Yeah, talk to me like I'm 5. Like you're explaining it to Demon's 8-year-old as to why he should get these buffs instead of the other one.
I think the lane that gets the green buff has the advantage early on because with the new price changes, you're only allowed 2 pots, which means you have a hard time keeping your sustain in the lane. So the person with the green buff can put a lot of pressure on, take damage, but regen it, where we have to use our 2 pots. So even though we get the blue and the shield, I still think our sustain is a big issue because me taking the shield, I lose some health and things like that. And if the player let's say the player is a Sobek who has a green buff, has that extra sustain with his 3, can really put pressure and bonus out of the lane.
Right, and
So
you can contest.
I think it balances itself out, giving the right lane the green buff, even though we get the shield and the blue buff.
Didn't really.
Yeah,
answer
green's
the
really
question
nice
there,
'cause you
though.
can push the lane easy, and like you said, you just go. You can take some creep damage, deal some damage to the enemy. They have to use their health pots. Then once they use their pots and you have the lane push, that's a free red buff for me. I mean, if they try to come and contest it, one of your guys still has the green buff. It's going to be pretty hard to take them down.
Well, one lane can get 3 buffs before the other lane gets 2 buffs.
Which lane?
Wolfy, explain again.
This is how it works. In order for a lane to get to pretty much control the jungle, for right lane to actually beat left lane, you have to take gold and cooldown buff. They already have 3 buffs on lock. Left lane, 100% of the time, has 3 buffs on lock unless they're bad. They have yellow buff, run speed buff, and blue buff on lock, 100% of the time. Right lane has green buff, cooldown buff. We have to contest the 3rd buff.
But when we get both those buffs, you can still get your cooldown buff and that buff. So we're still fighting over speed and the red buff. So if you get the red buff also, then you get the red buff, the cooldown buff, the green buff, and we only get 2 of the small camp buffs and the speed buff. So you get more XP in that way.
You cannot kill green buff, cooldown buff, and red buff in one go.
I'm not talking about one go.
you
We
don't-
can't do those 3 in one go either because we don't have the sustain for it.
You can save the cooldown buff for later. You don't need it now. You know that that's your buff. You know that if you're in right lane, that your enemy is not going to go all the way down to your jungle to get the cooldown buff. And if they do, that's very dumb because I'm going to go and contest that. And let's say, yeah, they're out leveling us or something. Okay, I have a tower right there. And if I have a jump, I'm safe. Like, there's nothing you're going to do. So you just wasted time in the lane. Our creeps pushed your lane, and now you have to go and get more farm. We just wasted time there trying to get our cooldown buff.
My point is with the jungle is that we can get the yellow and the blue and go to lane when you can get the green and the cooldown and go to lane. So the 2 buffs that are left are the speed and the red. Whoever pushes out more gets the red when the Hand of Gods come out, okay? So if you guys do that, you'll get the red too. So that leaves us with just the speed left. That's 1 major XP camp and the 2 other small XP camps where you get 1 big one for sure, the green, and then if you win the lane push, you get the red as well. So that's 2 major experience camps that you get, where we would only get 1.
Gotcha. What were you gonna say, Wolfie?
You're forgetting the one thing. You have blue buff. It's easier to push.
Yeah, but if you're
And your
putting
person
with the
with blue
green
buff
buff
is actually,
zoning me out, I
but
can't
your person
really
in blue
push.
buff is in lane before we get to the lane. It's really easy to clear 2 creep waves.
We're only
and
in
then-
lane if we don't do the yellow buff though. Right there.
Interesting. So what I'm getting from this is that there's more ways of doing it because obviously you're disagreeing with each other on some rather fine points as far
Which
as
is good.
yeah,
That's a
which
good
is
thing.
great. I
No,
like
you hit
it.
level 2 though. Your mid also will hit level 2 right in the lane before it even
The bad
starts.
thing about the jungle is that we can get our mid to level 2 before the laning even starts. Because I'll go do the yellow, while my other left lane guy in mid does the blue. They use spells, kill the blue quickly, and by the time mid starts walking over to the mid lane, I'll be almost done with my yellow, and he gets that experience too, and he becomes instant level 2.
Interesting.
So that's one thing I think is a little overpowered. But, the other side can do it too, so...
One thing I think we can all agree on with the new jungle is that side lanes should not be leveling faster than mid lanes do, and that's what's happening right now. And that's the biggest thing that worries me about the new map setup.
Why?
Even without kills.
So basically they're leveling faster because they can kill the jungles a lot easier.
Right.
Because
And
they
like-
have the buffs and what the buffs are. It's not like there's more or less buffs than existed before. It's the placement and how you go through them that are allowing you to.
Yeah, and it's punishing you so hard too. Like if I'm a good player. By no means am I a Lassis or a Wolfy or even a Zapman or Sparks. I'm just kidding, bro. But like if I die or if I get an early kill in my lane, that lane is won until mid or late game. Because if they haven't cleared their creep waves, guess what? In 15 seconds, I'm going to go clear their creep waves with my battle buddy in my lane. And they are so far behind after that, it's ridiculous. Like, MOBAs are supposed to punish you for your mistakes, but they're not supposed to kick you in the face with steel-toe Tims. And that's what I feel like the new jungle is doing. It's just punishing you way harder than it should by getting a death.
Do you have any?
That's how I
Like
look at
playing
it.
passive better than playing aggressive because you're scared to die.
Yeah, right. And a game like Smite, this game is supposed to be about excitement, playing aggressive, mobility, jumping around, fighting. But if people are afraid to die and lose their lane in the first 6 minutes, we don't get any of that. It's going to be slowed down. Teams are going to be playing passive. And who wants to watch that? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The one advantage that Smite has over all these other MOBAs is that excitement factor, that speed factor. There's always something going on. But if they start to, make it so that it's going to encourage passive play, you're taking away that one big factor away from Smite, and you're making it just another MOBA.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm worried about with the new jungle.
How would you, any of you, and this is an open question to any of you. What is Wolf? Well, okay.
Oh, you want me to say it?
Yeah,
I
open
could
question is that what would you do to change the jungle? Because obviously, if they changed it as drastically as they did, they weren't happy with how it was working before.
Yeah, I don't think they quite anticipated this kind of change for it. They just thought they would try something different, maybe move things around, see what happens, and now we're
How
finding
would
out.
you change the jungle? And like, where would you put? Say you work on what you have now. What would you change?
Can you guys put the map up for me real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, and why don't we go one at a time? So
Yeah.
pick whoever you want to.
Start with you.
I'll go
Zap.
first quickly because mine is short. I don't mind the jungle the way it is now. The only thing I think they should change is they should make the shield buff open-ended, not just have it open on one side and have it open on both sides. So both teams have equal access to every single buff, and I think it will be all right.
That would be interesting. That would change the jungle a lot.
Sparks, I guess you want to go next.
I'd have to agree with that. I'm fine with the jungle the way it is now, but I do agree that it's harder to get to the shield buffs, so that's actually a perfect idea.
It's interesting.
Fixie, do you have anything? We'll let Wolfie
Yeah,
get the
you
last
see,
word.
you see the cooldown buff, the red buff, the speed buff, and then on the left side, and then the speed buff, the red buff, and the cooldown buff on the right side.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of them.
Just gone.
Get rid of them. Put maybe one buff on each side in the middle, and then maybe just like a neutral camp or another armor buff or something like there. Like you've got green buff, you've got blue buff, and you've got red buff. Like those are the three buffs that I think are necessary. Speed is nice, armor is nice. These are nice buffs. But what you're doing is I feel like they're convoluted jungle now. I don't like them there anymore. Not after this change.
Interesting. What do you got, Wolfie?
My turn?
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
Alright, so
Go for
I've
it.
heard a lot of different changes for it. I do like the fact that I do like his idea to put the yellow as open on both sides. It would make it actually a lot more fair in the lane for both sides. But in my honest opinion, I think that the creeps should not spawn in the beginning of the game. I think
2 minutes.
creeps should have no. I mean, I think the harpy buffs at minimum should spawn at the same exact time your creeps actually meet in lane. So if you get that buff, you're losing you might get less EXP overall than if you stood in lane, but you're getting a buff. Like there's a negative side to getting it and there's a positive side to getting it. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's say middle lane went to get blue buff.
Would-
He comes back in the lane, he has blue buff. Great. But he lost an entire wave of EXP.
What would make people fight in the beginning?
And just be able to go there at 30 seconds. You know someone's going to be there. There's going to be chances that there's going to be only one person there or two people there. Or you can push the lane and then go to buffs and stuff. It'll just add a different feel to the game. Or at least make it so that green and blue buff aren't actually there to begin the game. And I also would like for ogres to be on a different buff timer than just spawn timer than the harpy buffs. So that in the beginning of the game, you can't just, you don't snowball as hard. Like if ogres spawned at 1 minute 30 or 2 minutes instead of the beginning of the game, your lane wouldn't be level 5 if you died and came back to lane at level 2, which is exactly what happens. If you die at level 2, your lane is back. When you come back to lane, they're level 5, you're level 2. Period. That's just how it works. That's how the game is right now.
It's harsh.
So if that were to happen, if these timers would actually come in like the game like that, it would you would see people not only taking hand of gods at level 1 because it's actually a pretty big
Cost.
investment
Yeah.
early game. It could actually change that game a little bit, and there'd be, like I said, there'd be negatives taking a buff and positives taking a buff. It'd be different, you know.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
30
I
seconds makes sense.
think it would slow down the pace of the game, at least for me. As a roamer, I like getting those early levels, and when I start roaming, the way I stay like high level and keep up my farm is by soloing those medium camp buffs when they respawn right lane by myself and things like that. So if they delay it by like a minute or something like that, then it will really mess up any kind of roaming in the game, I feel like.
And I see a lot of people talking about like a permanent jungler, but I don't know if that would be viable in Smite. And then, you know, you have what Wolfy said, that if they give too much experience or too much gold, then you're just going to have a really high advantage. And then it's like, okay, everyone's going for buffs and then going to lane. So it's very like passive player, you just push and then get them to play passive so you can get your buffs. And then it's like, well, do they contest or is it too late because they have to defend their tower?
Interesting.
What the hell happened? Did they like? It's like Skype crashed or something. We're fine.
Interesting.
What
We
in the
are
world
fine.
happened to Skype?
Yeah, we are
And
still
Skype's
broadcasting.
even still working. Like it's.
All of our video and audio on
Did you
just
do something this?
disappeared. No, I didn't.
Did
do
we
anything.
lose our internet? Oh, apparently my internet died.
Oh,
Hello?
there we go.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah.
The internet apparently decided it wanted to take a crap on me or reset your connection.
Well,
We'll
everyone's
come
back
in a second.
now.
Yeah.
So
But we're still broadcasting and stuff. So,
So as we were saying, Mr. Zappas, expert
turn on your
man.
cameras.
Yep. Turn on your cameras. Say hello to the world.
Stop telling me what to do.
Oh, but it's so much fun, Pixie.
I like that ability.
Yep.
See, like, this is super encouraging to me. Like Zapman and Sparks, like they've got a completely different take on what they should be doing early game, mid game, late game in terms of jungling and roaming. Where Wolfy has another idea of what should be going on with the jungle while people are roaming. Like the fact that two very, very good competitive teams have two very, very different ideas about what should be happening with roamers and jungling and stuff is very, very encouraging because it shows
Yeah.
that people are thinking, people are adapting, people are trying to take the game, exploit its positives, its weaknesses, and win games that way. Like it's the most positive thing I've heard out of a couple of teams since we've started beta. Like it's great. It's like the positive feedback is amazing. I like it.
Nice. Yeah, I agree. It especially with the change. I can say when they were redoing jungle that I wasn't quite expecting them to be completely different. But hey, I'm for it.
Cool. So, does anybody have any last words on the jungle before we move on?
Yep. Any more jungle comments? Sparks?
I just want to raise a question because it was in chat. What do you guys think about a full-time jungler?
No, it
Worth
forces
this
people
game.
to play passive. It slows down the game. Done.
Yeah, I'd
Wolfie?
have to agree.
You agree?
I just want to slow down the snowball situation, man. It's like you get that kill, you get that control in the jungle, and it's not even about skill, man. Like if I get that kill early game against Zappa's lane, I don't feel like I'm better than him. It's like I know he's 3 levels behind me. There's not much he can do about it.
Level advantage is a lot in this game.
Yeah.
It's so much, and that's partially because base values are so high.
Right.
Base damage is so high. So that level is worth more than the gold, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
you don't
Very
want
true.
to engage so early because it's ridiculous how fast it goes. So if they lower that down, even like, I wouldn't even care if they changed the whole jungle. If they put scaling EXP in the game and left the jungle to wherever the freaking way it was, so that it takes longer to get level 6, but it takes the same amount of time to hit 20 overall, I'd be cool with it. It's just I hate the fact that you come back to lane level 2 and they're level 5. There's nothing you can do.
I think
Here.
if, let's say you killed me and like I'm behind and things like that, I think that itself promotes roaming and things like that. I'll send my other guy left lane who's doing fine in another lane, try to push it so I can get solo XP and gold, things like that, and create action elsewhere. So I think like, yeah, I fall behind, then I'm not going to just stay in lane the way we were in the beginning of the game when we were all even. I'm going to try to make something happen, or have someone else try to make something happen in other lanes, try to push tower, while I can catch up and get solo experience, things like that.
And just
So I
like
think
as a
it-
reminder, just as a reminder while we're talking about like the jungle, like it's different. But remember, this game is like this game is 96 days old. You know what I mean? It's been in beta for like 96 or 97 days or something. So like they'll probably do it again, man. We'll probably see another jungle change. We'll see another Hand of the God rework. We'll see another item rework. It's going to happen a lot. And hopefully hi-rez can go back and look at this, take our suggestions, try it again. Try it again. And if they can keep making the game better and keep trying different things, we're going to get there. We have to remember every time we look at something that we don't like, we think is overpowered, imba, or dumb. We are beta testers. Like, they're gonna change things. We're still going.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
Don't let them know, but let them know nicely of what you think that should change.
Instead of saying like, "Oh, that's dumb," you're like, "Yo, bro, dude,
and tell them why."
Yeah, like
and
I
what
don't
you would
like
do.
this. I feel like this could be better if you did that. You can't be like, "Oh my God, Hand of Gods is dumb. Never playing this game again." You know?
Yeah.
Like constructive feedback.
If you think about it, Hand of Gods isn't dumb because you only use it in lower level. Because higher level, you can kill it very easily. And then if you don't have Hog in the early game, who's going to go for buffs? It's not like you don't want your teammate tanking a red buff, without Hogs. It's just not worth it. Because then, okay, the other team's going to go engage, and then, one of your guys is half health. Or what are you going to do then? That's why it's very good to have Hog. Hog is like it's still useful in game, don't get me wrong. Like Minotaur on the Fire Giant, on Gold Fury, but you really need it in the beginning game. That's why buffs are so useful. Is because you have Hog. If you didn't have Hog, they'd be useless.
Okay.
Yeah, Hog
Cool.
is nice. So along with the Hog, we're gonna ask real quick. What do you think about the gold change to Hog, Hand of Gods?
Did that make any difference? The fact that they increased it 200 gold.
Less sustain in lane because only 2 pots.
Less
Okay.
sustainable.
That's about it.
Is that about it, Pixie?
Yeah, I don't go through 3 pots before I go back anyways. Like mid, even when I'm playing like support right with my mana pots. Like, I mean, I guess you could stay in lane longer if you want to, but usually you're going for a certain item for survivability and lane sustain anyways. 9 times out of 10, I wouldn't have gone through all 3 of my pots anyways, so I feel like nothing was changed with the price increase.
Wolfy?
Wolfy?
It hurts some of the more mana-hungry characters. It hurts Wukong a bit. I mean, his skills cost a lot of mana, which was a pretty good nerf to him, I would say. But other than that, for most characters, I don't really feel it. Especially if your lane has blue buff, I really don't feel it too much. Again, with the way it is now, majority of the time, you kind of don't want to instigate a bad fight anyway.
Right.
Sadly, good.
I think having 2 pots promotes a lot more intense gameplay in the lane, because if you can force one of them out of the lane and have the pushing power, not only do you control the buffs, but you also put that early damage on the tower, which is obviously one of your main objectives. So I think just having 2 pots, before when you would have 5, you wouldn't care if you took damage, because by the time you use all 5 pots, it'd be like 10 minutes into the game. But now only having 2, you have to be extra cautious, and also it promotes a lot of intense fights, especially when you're fighting over the buff. Do you have your pot left in order to contest and things like that? And then you leave one of your guys alone if you have to go back, and it gives the other, the opposite team the advantage and things like that. So I think it really promotes intense gameplay early on, where before it was just like, oh, whatever, I have 5 pots, so it doesn't matter. So I like it.
But wouldn't that mean that it would force more fights because you have the mana and the health to continue fighting instead of now when you have to be on reserves? This is more of a
but it would also create such a
thing.
stalemate in lane, because you have those 5 pots. Nothing would really happen in the first 5 minutes because you have that sustain. Where now you only have 2 pots, you can only use it, sparingly because you only have 2, and it just promotes more careful planning and
Strategic C button pressing.
It forces the people to do less things because they physically can't do more things.
But that's what I'm saying. It creates more intense fights, like when you're going for red buff or things like that. So you have to be careful, and also like just
Smart
You're
when you
playing
engage.
more passive.
Yeah, gotcha.
You don't want to use your mana because you only have 2 pots.
Yeah.
You don't want to get hit because you only have
That's
2
what I'm
pots.
saying, but let's say that's
Yeah.
why having the green buff, like I was saying before, is very strong, opposed to just having the shield and the mana buff. That goes back to my old point.
But we have to take mana pots instead of green pots. So
Not
that's all that's
necessarily.
different. It's all that's different is that we take blue pots instead of green pots. That's all it is.
Well, you guys run
Green
dual
versus
melee.
blue,
You ran
man.
like mage or something with mana pots. You didn't really need the health pots in the start. You could easily push the lane. I think what you're saying is only for your comp, your double melee comp. I think if you ran something else, it'd be different.
Well, interesting.
You're
well,
both wrong.
that was a question I actually wanted to ask as a a topic was would you say is the current like team meta composition right now? What is the way you start off at the moment now with this new jungle change? How does it affect over what it was before? Everybody still obviously goes 4 or 5 Hand of Gods, 4 because the two side lanes always take hogs, the middle lane does not, right? Nobody answer. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's still 4. It's still 4 Hand of Gods.
Right.
The heroes are still the same. In draft mode, it's a little bit different. You don't have the same gods anymore, so I like draft mode a lot more than blind pick. I hate mirror matches. Hate them.
No.
Yeah. So what would you say? Like, is there a particular dominating team composition that needs to happen? Like, you have to have 1 mage, 2 mage, 2 bruisers, 2 carries, 1 carry for sure. Can you drop a carry and take up 2 bruisers and do okay?
Yeah, I feel like right now with the metagame, it's more about who you're comfortable playing than it is like having like a strategically planned team composition. I mean, you obviously you need CC. You need somebody who can initiate, from a fair distance, and not just get bursted down. So maybe an escape mechanism as well. But I feel like after you've got those 2 things, typically as long as you have enough damage, you're perfectly fine. Like before, like if you look a month ago, like 30 days ago, when BLG was scrimming ECG, it was like mirror matches. Like all the whatever, I don't care. All the top tier teams were running almost the exact team composition with maybe a god here and a god there that was slightly different. But now, like things are a lot different. People are starting to move. Teams are starting to move towards who they're more comfortable with playing in what lanes and what positions. The only thing that's kind of mixed it up a little bit in recent days is like if you have a Wukong, he has to go in lane with blue because he needs that blue to be able to spam his 2 and his 3. Other than that, I mean, you just work with what you're good at.
Yeah,
My 2 cents.
That early Wukong 2 spamming.
Yeah. 3.
Yeah, and I'd rather have more damage over, like, because I know our team ran a comp where we just put 2 tanks in right lane, but I don't think it's that viable. You just don't have enough damage, and they're not tanky enough where you can just go in and, survive a fight. So I'd rather have the more damage and just 1 bruiser, especially when Sturmies is your bruiser.
And in our left lane, what we've been doing is we run a mage and my Wukong or whatever I'm playing, and I don't get the blue buff. My mage gets the blue buff. See, like, I think it depends on the team's playstyle. Like, I like to go out and roam all the time, so I need someone by himself who can push the lane back and not get bullied in lane. So now that's why we've been running mage side lane. So I think it depends your team's playstyle.
Cool. Wolfy?
Right lane, left lane. We know which one I think has the advantage. It really doesn't matter. As long as you have your range AD carry, you have your CC, you have your initiation. Doesn't really matter what gods you have can dash well. Like, I think Zeus is crap, but when you have Odin, he's strong as hell. It just depends on overall team comp. There's a lot of characters that weren't played before that are being played now just because they see other people playing them. And it's good. I'd like draft mode. It's making people play other characters, play different comps, do everything. You don't see a Guan Yu every game. You're seeing Odins now, Bastats, all this other stuff. It's good. I think it's great. Everything is going. The guys themselves, I think, are in a great place.
Great.
The guys themselves, except cats. I thought that ult is stupid.
Yeah, I do want to talk about that in a few minutes.
Yeah,
but,
I agree with Wolfy. It is play style, but it's also, like you said, team synergy. Like you have the Odin Zeus, that's really great synergy, especially if they don't have escapes. So it's just like you gotta pick gods that are gonna coincide really well.
So along that same topic, I wanted to bring up. So you're talking about synergy. I wanted to talk about Thor for a moment.
I guess we'll let Fixie go with that first.
Yeah, we're gonna let Fixie go ahead and reiterate what his feelings were from last week. Just to give you all a primer. Last week he was very abrasive on his views about Thor's strength. So Fixie, why don't you start us out with that?
All right. I have no excuses. On paper, Thor looked absolutely ridiculously good. And I laid into hi-rez Duke really hard about releasing this god in the state he was in. After playing Thor 50 some odd matches, I was completely and utterly wrong. And everything Duke said about the numbers looking great on paper, but the God playing the way he's supposed to be played was 100.
Did he was mute?
He is not overpowered. He's a very niche God. There's two things he's very good at, and he's bad at everything else. There's 30 seconds that this God really shines in the entire game. 30 seconds, and that's level 1 trying to invade a jungle buff. That extra 40 physical power while invading a buff is huge. If you pick the right side, and there's only 2 of them and not 3, you're going to steal a jungle buff and maybe get yourself a kill. That 2 and that 3 at level 1 with 2 enemy gods around you is huge. It's absolutely giant. But other than that, he's really good at, like, if you're right lane with Thor, he's great at jumping in mid lane and maybe getting a stun with that ult, throwing down a fissure, putting down a 1 or a 3, and helping mid get fed. He's not good at anything else besides those other 2 things. He's really squishy. Duke said that as well. Duke, I'm apologizing here, all right, bro? Don't interrupt me. Thanks. He's really squishy. He's not bursty. He doesn't do a ton of damage. But his utility with his fissure and his ability to chase people down with his ult and his 1 make him a viable god. Now, whether or not people will figure out a way to get him played properly in those high-level scrims and those high-level tournament games is still up for debate because he does not do a lot of damage. But if you got like a Lassis mid or a Fixie SLN mid who just carries games over and over again, you can get them fed. And you can get them fed with that Thor. I think that right there makes him a worthy pick or a worthy ban in draft cases.
Great.
Cool.
Well stated. Does anybody want to add anything on that? Wolfie?
I think it's like it's just a scaling HP. That's all it is, dude. If they can fix his scaling HP, I think he'd be able to fit on teams. He's really it's squishy because his HP is low and all the other stuff. He's really strong early game because his base numbers are great. Level 1, level 2, level 3. He'll bruise you in lane and bully you out of the lane. But once you hit level 10 and you realize your AD carry has more HP and all damage items, you're like, well, this guy dies fast.
Yeah.
Nice. So exactly what is happening in chat right now is Duke is basically there going, I couldn't quite hear you, Fixie. Could you repeat that?
Yeah. He's trolling the crap out of me now.
It's all right. So, Sapis, you were going to...
Yeah, we've been trying Thor out in a lot of comps, and I think he's very strong early game. He falls off mid game and becomes strong again later on in the really late game. So early game, like when we pick our lanes, we try to pick a high bursting lane since he has a ton of burst level 1. And then towards the mid game, when you're just trying to build your items and things like that, he really falls off because the guys just burst him down real quick and he doesn't have any escape. But then when you get to late game and you have a ton of damage items, some tanky items, like the amount of burst he can pull out with his ult, his 3, and his 1 is pretty high. So I think his mid game area is where he falls off the most. But I like him.
Great.
Cool.
All right.
I think he's more of like a team support because he still can't take a lot of damage. It's just like creating plays, which is really good.
Making people look up for the win.
Yeah.
Making people look up since 2012.
Yeah, he's probably the only god that actually makes you realize that there's a sky in Smite. You're like, oh, there's stuff up there.
Yep.
Oh, look
And
at
then
that statue. That's cool.
And then you as Thor getting to see upon the horizon, seeing, all the different things that aren't there.
Yeah.
One thing about him, though, he is so much fun to play. He's a lot of fun to play.
Mm-hmm.
Thor. He's excitable. Exciting. I'm excitable. He makes me excited.
Nice. So then, I guess on the god thing, let's go back to Bastet. And what do you think of her kitties now?
6th person on your team.
Any arguments there?
No, they're pretty overpowered with that HP. It's a lot of HP.
I agree.
Have you guys figured out the shenanigans you guys can do with those cats? It's pretty stupid.
Oh, do tell. Yes, tell us tell us the cat shenanigans.
Oh my god. 4-minute Gold Fury. I don't want to talk about it.
Wow.
Let's just put it like this. we were just like messing around, seeing what we could do. Yeah, you can 3-man Go Fury with Bastet at 4 minutes in the game. You can take 2 Gold Furies and a Fire Giant in 5 minutes. No jokes, no nothing. Just 3 people, 2 people in the lane and in mid lane. You go there and you kill them. Fire Giant will die. It's ridiculous. It's so funny.
Funny.
She also dominates the hell out of Minotaur.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. Those cats, the objective control. You win 1 fight and you're guaranteed Gold Fury or anything. It's stupid. It's really, really, really. It's too high. I think they need to fix that, or just or allow the cats to give Bastet aggro. Okay, I feel bad for people when I drop cats and the cats actually attack the hero and I'm just walking next to them as the cats tank it, and I'm just standing there. I'm VE taunting all the time as I stand next to the tower and the cats will kill her and I will never get attacked by a tower. It's pretty mean.
That is kind of harsh.
Yeah.
And they don't die.
No, they don't.
No, they
don't.
800 HP at 200 at level 20 rather. 800 HP a pop. 850. So,
Ouch.
wow, that's a lot of HP.
I understand if they wanted to make it like so that you can't just hog them and let them die, but okay, so make them have like 700 health or like just something a little above hog so that you can't just one hog it and that's it. 850, it's so much health. They're like tanks. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, I'm Agni. There's 3 cats on me. Let me blow all 3 of my ult charges on the main so I don't die. Oh wait, a 3? I'm Anubis. Let me put 3 and try and kite them. Oh, they're still alive. Better ult. It's like...
Very nice.
Oh wait, Odin just presses 2, and I've got Soul Eater. There's 3 cats in the field. Just better concede. It's just like, my God, so much.
Oh yeah. The fact that Odin 2 works with the cats. Oh my.
Yeah, first they're like meow meow meow. Odin hits 2. Meow 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 meow. It's like, oh my God. I don't even know what just hit me. I'm dead.
It's safest. She's got the safest Fire Giant in the game. It's so scary.
Just press 4 and then walk away. Go do something else. I'll go do Harpy with my other abilities.
Nice. Well, I did. So we have Duke on with us now. Duke, do you have any words for Fixie?
No. I'm
Okay.
good.
Okay. Did you want to add to the conversation?
Thanks for sparing me, Duke.
No. I just wanted to hear it unhitchy. For some reason, the stream is just really, really messed up for me. I don't know what the deal is.
Is it your
Yeah,
Thursday
tried
night
to-
internet?
Yeah, it could be my Thursday night internet. I don't get it. Anyway.
Was it skipping
never
on
have
Fixie's
issues
apology
except for
so it
Thursday
repeated
nights,
over and
so-
over again?
Say what? Say what?
Was it skipping on Fixie's apology so it just repeats over and over again?
No.
Duke, you
That'd be
do have my
awesome.
apologies. I laid into you way, way harder than I probably should have. I was rude last week, and I was blatantly wrong. So, from the bottom of my ice-cold heart,
Only
sir,
a
I
lot.
apologize. I'm sorry.
Oh, so
Okay.
sweet.
Oh.
So sweet.
I feel all warm and fuzzy for Fixie since he has ice cold heart and all.
Freaking hate apologizing. I'm dying to fight.
So can
Wolfy.
I'm sorry.
You gonna make it, Wolfie?
I'm good.
you're
Okay,
good,
good.
you're good. All right. So we have the perfect people on here to talk about spectator mode.
Yeah. So you
Okay.
guys have been like using the crap out of that on your stream lately. Is that are you planning on pushing it out sooner rather than later now, or is it just you're using it because you happen to have it?
I think the plan will be to. I can't say this for certain,
Right.
But just some of the talks that have come up have been get it out to some of our streamers first.
Ah.
Hang on. Not to be like, not so you guys are like exclusive club, but so you guys actually find problems with it.
Right.
So maybe we could patch it, 2 weeks later or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And then make it available for everybody else.
We'll beta test the
So-
crap out of it.
Yep. We'll do it for you, sir.
Yeah, and it doesn't
So,
have to be
yeah,
us. It can be whoever.
But like I said, that's just random talks here and there.
Yeah,
but they're
cool.
doing a lot of work on it right now for what that's worth. So
Excellent, excellent. That's
Great.
very good to hear. Very good to hear.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
Good news, dude. Good
So
news.
I guess that answers our question. Fixie apparently broke his headset because we can't hear him anymore.
There he goes.
I heard you a little bit, but you were really quiet. I think he just muted himself.
Yep.
Yep,
Yep.
he did.
All right, so on to something else that's been happening this week. It's more along the crappy spectrum of people being DDoS'd while they're streaming.
DDoS?
Yeah.
Can we not talk about
Distributed denial of service attacks
Yes, distributed denial of service of tax.
versus the straight DOS, which is just denial of service attacks.
Or the
Windows,
shell system.
Shell system
And
in Windows.
That
But-
is not an operating system you want to work in.
No.
Continue.
So, Fixie, Wolfy, what have you guys been seeing lately with the people DDoSing?
It's
streamers.
resolved. It's over.
Oh, it is?
Yep, it's already resolved. It's done.
Cool. Did they put in a router or something?
No, I took care of it.
Oh, that sounds like gangster.
Is there somebody with cinder block shoes at the bottom of a river?
No.
Okay, that's good to know. Well, cool.
Well. He's like, I took care of it. No, you don't have to worry about it anymore.
No, but Wolfie's the wolf. He's the one that's supposed to take care of it. You call in the wolf. That's how it works.
But today Fixie's a bear. Look at him.
Yeah.
It's a monkey. What's wrong with you?
It looks like a bear, bro.
Yeah, it's a bear.
Get it right.
It does look like a bear.
It looks like a bear. It looks like a bear. It looks like a bear.
Nice. All right, so I guess next on our topic is the ESN tournament this weekend. Who is participating?
Yes,
Dun dun dun. It is on. Let me triple check when it is. I'm pretty sure it's Sunday, but I just want to make sure.
Yeah, it's this Sunday,
Sunday.
Yeah.
11:30 Eastern.
Good. So apparently we're taking part. You guys on the North American team, and I believe the European team is also in on that.
Yep.
Fixie, is Reason Gaming going to be joining us in that little tournament for some fun times?
No.
Oh,
Unless you said work and we couldn't find
Oh,
a
that's
mid on
right.
short notice, and I'm subpar. But I will be casting it from my own perspective. I will be casting the games that are being streamed. So yeah,
Cool.
I
Nice.
guess I'll partake in one way, shape, or form.
yeah. Cool. Yeah. So Lassise is not able to participate because he happens to work all weekend. For anybody that didn't get that clarification. So do you guys have some special plans laid out, you North American guys, for this weekend? Do you have some secret compositions you're not going to tell us, but you're going to apply?
We've been practicing a lot of different comps just so we have a lot of, depending on picks and bans, you never know what's going to get picked or banned. So we've been practicing with all kinds of gods, all kinds of comps. So we can pull out basically anything depending on other team comps and what gets banned.
Because
Things like that. So just practice.
contrary to the last game, there was
Oh,
no
practice.
draft pick. It was just blind pick, but you had one ban, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So this time you can ban, and then you have the draft pick where you can obviously do the various things. So they're going to do it manually, so they'll probably have Fixie casting that while they're doing it. And it'll be really interesting. I can't wait to watch them.
Yeah, we can't wait to play it either. So we've just been practicing all week and just put on a good show on Sunday.
Awesome.
Great. And we would also invite any of our callers, if they have any questions for us or comments or you want something answered, please feel free to give us a call, and we will listen.
Yes, we will listen. We might not answer, but we will listen.
Yeah.
I guess I need to drop off of here so people can call you, huh?
Oh no, I can add them to the conversation if you don't
Yeah,
mind sharing
Oh,
space.
okay.
Unless if you don't want them to have your Skype name, then you can drop off.
I don't care.
Okay. That would be the only issue. So 4 or 5 people might know who you are, and they'll stalk you all day, and they'll type at you, and you'll ignore them.
Here we go.
Mario.
Yes, Mario. What other topics do we have that we wanted to discuss? Because that pretty much covers the ESL or
I want to talk more about spectator mode.
ESN. What?
I want to talk more about spectator mode.
Go for it.
yeah.
What would you like to talk about it?
About
Getting it.
Getting it.
How do I get it faster? Says Fixie.
No, so you guys were working on the UI quite a bit. Like that was the big thing that was holding back the release. So that's obviously coming together. The UI. You guys had some ideas and it's being implemented. We haven't seen it yet on the streams, but I'm guessing that somewhere in house you guys have a better idea of how it's going to look like.
Not yet. they've just been working on it in the past few days, actually. Like the UI guys. So we haven't seen it yet.
Progress.
Yeah, no, at least they're working on it. Like that has me really, really excited. That's super awesome.
Yeah, they had Bart, kind of showing them some things with the other MOBAs and stuff like that to give them an idea of what kind of information we want to show at all times. And my only interjection was, just because this is more of a community-based thing, was just give us a hotkey or button or something that we can toggle off everything at will. Toggle it off and on. Just, screenshots,
Alt
whatever.
C like every other game. Sure. I agree.
Yeah.
But just make it simple for us to just toggle every single thing off the screen except for gameplay if we want to. So
you get those cinematic videos.
And the UI guy that I was telling it to said that's nothing. He said that's low hanging fruit. I can take care of that. So.
Nice. That's awesome.
That's the best kind of fruit, unless it's rotten.
Who are your UI guys? Are they anybody that we've heard from or talked to at all?
No one you guys have talked to yet.
Will we get a chance to meet them October next month?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as long as they're not out.
As long as they're not at lunch, you'll meet them.
I'm just gonna go from office to office to office and just yell at people all day. I can't wait to see the bomb.
Like Bart and I are really the only people in the studio who have an office that we share.
You and Bart, you said?
Really?
Yeah. Everybody else is in Cube Farm.
Nice. You just won the game, Duke.
Do I?
Yeah, you win the game. That's baller.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. Well, apparently I'm the only person in the studio who can put up with Bart yelling for 5 hours a day. So. They actually put him in the room to get him away from everyone yelling, and then I was just like, I want to go in the room too. Just so people will stop walking up to my desk and randomly asking me to do stuff while I'm in the middle of work. Thanks. Now they can't find me. Literally, I have people who can't find me. Where do you sit now? I'm not telling.
Very
That's
nice.
awesome.
Great.
So I guess we'll start running through the questions on the stream. Are there any Hades changes coming up? And then I guess for you guys, do you think Hades needs any changes?
I'm not the one to. It's another one of my deflection questions. But at the same time, I will say that who was it? It was a forum poster or something. It may have been somebody in a stream recently that said, people keep saying Hades is so underpowered or broken or bad or whatever, but then you see them in high elo games, and people are being extremely effective with him. So, and maybe it's just the team is playing to him, but that's what you do in a team-based game.
Right. Yeah.
So,
he's not.
So I don't know. I think that that skews the numbers a little bit. That some people play him to great effect. But yeah, I mean, Travis is always looking at him. He's always since he's been in the game, Travis has been trying to figure out how to adjust him where he is, as opposed to changing him completely. Because every time we change completely, then it's like you're really starting over. Like with Hell, Hell is where she is now because she was completely reworked, and it's still, well, are we getting all the information on her that we can right now, because it basically became, no, I'm not going to play Hell because she's too hard to play or she's buggy or whatever before. So yeah.
I see.
Yeah. So it's tricky when you completely overhaul a character.
Yeah.
So I don't see a complete overhaul coming for him. I see Travis trying to make tweaks here and there to make it to improve him if he sees necessary. So.
Gotcha. Cool. You were gonna say something, Pixie?
Yeah, he's Hades is really good at what he's supposed to do. Good players, good teams are buying Purification Beads, Aegis, and they have a lot of gods have mechanics for escapes, leaps, dashes, all that fun stuff. And what Hades forces people to do is use that Aegis, use the beads,
burn it.
Use that what?
No, I was saying he forces people to burn those things that could get them out of a slow or some other type of CC, or in a mirror CC if you ran a 2-tank comp or something like that. He fixes exactly right. He forces you to show your cards, basically.
and that allows your AD carry or your mage to go in there and burn that god down, or make them use their
brutalize
other
people.
mechanic, their escape or their Aegis or their beads.
Yeah.
And at that point, if you've got stuns down, or if you got your leaps and escapes down, you've got your Aegis or your beads down, and people start spreading out, running away from the Hades ult, not everybody's going to run in the same direction. He's going to cause a small amount of mayhem in that team fight or in that 3v3 or 4v3 or whatever. And by making these people use the mechanics, you can burn one person down, 2 people down, 3 people down. So what he's used for is really good. I think a lot of the newer players or players that aren't as seasoned are complaining because they can't go 21-5 with him or 20-0 with him. But that's not the way the god's supposed to be played.
Yeah, I agree. You really have to know how to play him. I mean, if you want to see the best Hades I've ever seen is Lessy's playing Hades. If you want to see a Hades played really well, watch Lessy's stream. It's really good. Some people take for granted his heal. Like I see Lessy's going in a full, he'll gank in with a full creep wave coming out. He'll smite in, he'll blink in, use that heal, and he's got like all of his health back. It's like it never happened. So I mean, you just got to really know how to blight all of the creeps and your enemies, and really know how to use him. So that's all I have to say about Hades.
Cool. Wolfy, you have
That's all I
anything
have
else?
to say about that.
My only problem with Hades is I personally think before level 5 he's a little under par. Before level 5, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying the character is crap himself. I'm saying before level 5 he's a little under par, and at the moment I think being strong 1 to 5 is really important.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the only problem I see
I
with him.
agree. I agree with the heart of what you're saying. I think Lassus would completely disagree with you because Lassus doesn't even rely on the ult. Lassus is all about the silence on him. That's to Lassus. That's the strong suit. Is for 5 levels you've got a silence that most other people don't. So
It's really good CC in the lane.
What's that?
It's really good CC in the lane, the silence.
Yeah. Well, and it just shuts people down early game. And so if you've got somebody who plays as aggressive as he does, it gets pretty brutal not being able to use your skills for half the time between 1 and 5. So, but I totally get what Wolfie's saying, and like as far as me playing him, that's what I feel too. I'm just like, man, I can't do anything, just because. Well, I mean. Namely because I'm not as aggressive of a player as a lot of you guys. I'm more defensive.
Right.
But then there's you're just with every character you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna ding 5, get my ult, and all hell's gonna break loose. And you have to change that mindset to play Hades properly. And I have a hard time getting out of it, like probably a lot of people. So
Yeah.
And even if let's say he doesn't have his ult, once he hits level 5, if everyone's still in lane, I mean, it's pretty strong because they don't have their beads or anything yet. Because mostly, people haven't bead before level 5, so at least in a competitive game.
I agree. Level 5, I think he's great. I think like when he has his ult up and you're in a team fight and you can time all that stuff and you can get it in, I think he's great. It's just, I don't know. For me, when I have him in the lane, when I see him, it feels a little bit weaker than other gods in the mid. But that's just what I've seen and played with. I think as the concept for that god is great. The dash, the AoE, the ult, and even the silence is a good concept. I think the character is a cool character. I actually like it. It was the first god I bought, and I have fun with him.
Cool.
That's just for me.
Zapman?
I never really played Hades, so I don't really have an opinion on him. But I think his ult, if used correctly, is one of the best in the game. And like maybe not necessarily initiating the fight with his ult, but waiting for your other teammates to go in there, and then you come in, like, let's say 3 seconds into the team fight, I think might be more effective for him.
Or the other
Yeah,
way
I think-
around. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
I think that's the problem is a lot of people go in, they ult, and they die or whatever. Even if, like Fixie said, it forces people to burn all their stuff, they die, and it's just like, man, I don't want to die that much. And they just keep doing that the entire match instead of saying, okay, these guys like to blow their, all their ults as soon as they see someone, so maybe I should be, not quite the first person to the fight. Maybe I should let someone who has a pretty strong initiation hop in first, and then everybody tries to blow their ult on them, and then I can go nuts with my ult and start, securing kills for people. So
I don't agree with that. Like, his ult applies blight too, right?
Oh, it consumes blight.
No, it just
it consumes
yeah,
blight.
consumes blight. That's
It doesn't
what it
apply.
was. So you're going in there ulting, and then maybe you're hitting 3, and then you're 2. Yeah, I got you. Makes sense. Sure. I'm an idiot. Just keep going.
Yeah. We had on a slightly different subject. We had a question from one of our viewers as to. It was an interesting question as to whether you guys are going to do a pure UI patch or a patch that would be more focused on the interface of the game versus, say, God releases or other things.
I seriously doubt that. We'll probably, try to sandwich it in with other stuff, because we know people are always looking for new characters, especially since we're not at 30 yet, and we've already, a lot of you have already paid for 30. So maybe after we hit that point, we could do patches every now and then that don't include a new character, but because a lot of people have already paid for 30, we kind of want to get to that number in a fairly expedient fashion. So
understandable. People pay, they want their stuff.
Yeah,
sure. But that's not to say that UI work and stuff won't be done, because like I said, the UI guys are looking very strongly at Spectator this week. So yeah,
sweet. Great.
So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to call us up on Skype at perfect.rain. Then we can take your questions and throw them out to all of these lovely fellows on the stream, and of course, hi-rez Duke here with us.
All right. While we have a few more minutes before we hit our time limit, I wanted to ask. We get this question a lot, and of passive abilities, people really miss them, apparently.
Those 2 weeks that they were in.
Yeah, those 2 weeks they're in. Are you guys thinking about? I doubt that you're going to bring them back, just with the state of how the game plays. Are you thinking about bringing in any other abilities or the passives back again?
There's talk of some sort of exterior progression type thing where you can min-max or whatever. But I don't know what. I haven't seen any further work on that. People saw the offerings very early on in beta / late alpha or whatever. They, obviously that stuff still exists, but we've stated previously that it wasn't going to come back to the game in that manner, as at least that's what was stated. So,
okay.
So yeah, I would assume we'll see some work on that, but not, as far as I know, not anytime soon, because I haven't seen any work on it recently.
Great. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that should answer a lot of people's questions. So we have our caller here, Mr. Red Armare. How are you doing today? And what is your
question? Welcome to Beyond the Rift.
I'm doing fine. So I've got a question that is regarding in-game trolls and harassment. I know there's a report option for people who are harassing other players, but I was wondering, because I have seen a few names several times still surfacing despite reports. Is hi-rez actually actively pursuing people who are reported for harassment?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I do it very frequently. It's a highlight of my day to get to ban people. I'm not even being funny.
I know, it's just funny
because you have to put up with so much. So it's nice to get to dole out some punishment every now and then. Yeah, we're looking at it very actively, very very frequently. If you see someone, that you've reported before, it may just be that we looked over it and we're like, well, where they were kind of gray, and we're waiting on it to be a little more black and white.
Yeah.
But every time someone gets reported, they move up in the queue.
Ah.
So every single time they get reported, they move up on the list. So they become
more
a stronger candidate for action against our account every single time they're reported. So
What
That
is
man's got a 72-hour ban before.
Yeah.
I probably did it. Sorry, but not really.
He probably deserved it.
I probably enjoyed every second of it.
I sent like four emails trying to get unbanned, but it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
It's all right.
so? Do you have any plans to distribute this kind of ability out to the community to like take some of the workload off of you guys, where it comes to reading over all this crap and having some sort of like panel where?
I doubt we're going to do any kind of tribunal thing. I mean, if we did, it would be fairly, that would be a long journey from where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that's kind of the thought process a lot of people have, and there's also the whole problem. There's some huge community problems with the tribunal because you see. You're seeing player name, it becomes the whole name and shame thing, and we're obviously not into that. We squelch that on the forums a lot, just because, you've seen people who get out of line, and once they get punished or they get a warning or something like that, they actually get their act together. And it doesn't happen necessarily that often, but it does happen, and we don't want to spoil the opportunity for someone to get themselves right, and be a good member of the community. Because I've seen it plenty of times where someone's just I'll just be honest, a total d-bag, and then they get punished or something like that, and they end up becoming a pillar of the community because they're like, all right, yeah, okay, I can be civil, I can be useful to the community. And they actually turn themselves around. So
Gotcha.
That's, to me, one of the biggest problems with putting it on the community to dole out punishment or whatever, or even, have a say in the punishment of people other than actually reporting them, means you're basically giving people, you're deputizing the community to basically create outcasts. And that's not what we want to do.
Interesting.
So, we want the community to grow, not be at each other's throats for whatever reason. That just gives people more reason to be mad at each other. And so, in my opinion, I that's one of the inherent problems with the whole tribunal process. And then there's the other thing, which is a lot of people just do it for the reward. And you can find all kinds of forum threads all over the League of Legends forums where people are complaining about the reward not being enough for being a deputy.
Gotcha. We also have another question here. And thank you for the question, Red. If you will
Thank you for having me.
No problem. You're welcome. We do have it from Mr. Doob. He asks, or from Kendrill. Kate, screw it. When you do ranked matches, dodging the ranked match while in God selections, can we have it punish your ELO as well as not just receive a 20-minute deserter status? Because, I mean, it's, a lot of people waited 20 or 30 minutes to get into ranked, and then somebody, drops right there and just screws you over for that ranked match. So is there a way that we could make it worse punishment?
That's actually a good question. I saw someone say that somewhere, whether it's forums or they sent me a message or whatever. That it's a really good question that we need to address internally, because you waited an hour or whatever to get into that match, and then someone screws it up, and you're getting some sort of compensation for it. But
I'm not telling you what to do because I know it's your game, but I think a good something to punish them would be maybe. Well,
tell me what to do.
I have no say in it, is what I'm saying. That's all I need to say. But just maybe give them an hour deserter so they can't queue for the next ranked game. So it's like they made everyone else wait an hour, and then they were unable to play because he dodged. So now make it so that he can't join the next game.
Yeah,
or maybe
what I'm
ranked
thinking
deserter.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, or something like ranked deserter.
Maybe he has to miss 2 ranked games or something. Well,
no, I mean, my thought process is they should have a 90-minute deserter, so they definitely cannot make the next ranked.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's my thought process. So, I'll push for it, bring it up, but it's a really good point. You made mean, yeah, you get compensated for it, and that's why we do it, because we know some people are going to be jerks, or they're going to go AFK, or something dumb is going to happen. And yeah, it's not always bad reasons. Sometimes something happens, something comes up. So that's why we're not necessarily quick to be like, all right, let's just slap a punishment on everybody.
Yeah. Computer crashed. I'm sorry.
Does it.
Well, sometimes it's also you see a name and oh man, this guy goes 0-10 all the time, or this guy Mojambo the other day was feeding for both teams going 0-10. So it's just like they're bringing him down. So I guess if you're gonna put a ban on them, maybe it would be the question would be if let's say someone goes 12-4 in a game but they still lose, can you still give them like an elo up because they did well, they still went positive? I mean, I know sometimes that'll just make people want to go for kills, but they're obviously still doing objectives.
I gotta be
it's not
honest,
you can just roam all game and be successful unless you're Zapman.
Yeah. Wow. I gotta be honest that I'm not 100% certain myself of what all we do calculate, and some of that could already be in the mix where if you do well, you don't get punished as much. Matter of fact, I wouldn't doubt that we have that in the mix, just because of some things that hi-rez has said. So there could be some of that already in the in the whole formula, in the algorithm.
Yeah.
So it's possible that it's already there. Just because I know his thoughts on it, and his thoughts are he doesn't want to punish someone who did everything they could do.
Okay.
Because obviously they should probably be in the next rank up, so that they're playing with better teammates. So anyway,
what about?
Yeah, I've noticed that I didn't get I'll do really well in the game, but I don't necessarily go up, but I don't necessarily go down. Like sometimes I'll just stay at the same rating.
Yeah.
So
right.
yeah, I have noticed that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So there's something there.
Yeah. What about, is there any plans for team ranked? Is that anything?
When is that going to be enabled? We should say. We know obviously there's plans for it because
it's just a team game, so eventually you're going to have that kind of.
It's going to happen eventually. What kind of time frame?
Yeah. I don't know what the time frame is on that at all.
Okay.
I don't know
5
why we
months.
wouldn't have it, honestly. So
That's cool.
I mean, I would assume any game mode you see in other MOBAs, we want to have something similar.
Okay.
APAN?
I actually know of something that I'm not telling you guys about at all.
That's
because
shocking.
I don't know the status of it yet. But there's a mode that we're gonna have
Spoiler
that
alert.
nobody else has very soon.
Oh, you're gonna have
nice.
a flying mode?
Flying mode.
We're gonna have jump enabled. Jump mode where when I hit spacebar, I actually jump.
I'm talking about a completely different game type. So
Ah.
I don't believe you.
Nice.
Battleship.
Sweet. We all sit at spawn and lob spells across the way.
It better be Emba
There's nothing-
mode. If
there's
it's not
nothing
Emba
wrong
mode,
with
I'll
that
be real
idea.
disappointed.
what'd you say, Fixie?
Emba mode? It's got to be Emba mode.
Emba mode. That would be awesome. I
Yes,
really need to
it
pitch
is.
that.
You're the worst. You're the worst secret keeper ever. I can see your face from here. You're in Georgia.
What are you talking about?
Emba mode. You
It's
guys
not
heard
Emba
it. That's
mode.
what Duke said. Emba mode next Friday.
Okay.
So for us who don't know, what is Imba mode exactly?
Yeah.
Emma mode is everything is just completely wrong. Like you play Sun Wukong and all he has is Furious Monkey. He has 1 through 4. It's Furious Monkey, and it starts at level 5.
Second down.
Nice.
So and it only gets stronger as you like you have all your skills unlocked. They're all at level 5, and you just get stronger as the match goes on. So it's just ridiculous. Everything's, it's just spam your spells as fast as possible on people to see who gets the kills.
Nice.
That's what Simbo mode is.
He knows all about it. This is definitely the secret he's keeping. He even told us what weapon ability to start off at.
That's insane.
Nice.
It is a great idea, though. I think it needs to happen.
Yes, I agree. So,
But I promise you that's not the secret I'm keeping.
Trolling.
yeah. Well, I guess we're going to start wrapping it up now because we are running long here. So,
And before we give out our shout-outs, we do want to give a quick promotion. BLG.na team site will actually be scrimming Curse Gaming's
eventually, we don't know
team
the
thing.
dates,
Eventually.
stuff like that.
So keep in touch with within the next few weeks.
Yeah.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, it's gonna be big. We'll
Yeah.
we'll shoutcast it on our. I mean, obviously you guys can run it on your own stream, but we'll also be hi-rez Studios channel. So that'll be really fun. It'll be BLG versus the Wiki folks, the Smite Wiki folks
Oh, the Smite Wiki.
from Curse.
Yep.
yeah.
So yeah, that'll be a fun match. And you know, I'm not going to tell you guys to bring your A game because I can't guarantee that that's what they're bringing. So this is just going to be for fun.
Yeah, it's
So,
gonna be great. I'm gonna have a lot of
everybody
fun.
have fun. We'll all build troll builds and stuff like that. So
That's what's up.
Sweet.
we'll have fun.
Sweet. Did something happen to the stream that I don't know about?
Yeah, it's back now. Don't worry about
Okay.
it. Just the webcam is put down.
Oh, they went back. So yeah, I mean we've seemed to have fixed our crashing issues. Thank you.
Yes.
No more blue screens. So I do
Didn't
want to give
before
out some
blue
packs.
screen.
Do want to give out some packs Artemis skins. So we'll, I guess, throw down. If everybody wants to get in game, I'll just throw them down in chat, and that'll be the fastest way.
I
Yeah.
have I have
Yeah.
a giveaway button on my stream actually, so I can just do it that way.
Yeah.
Then-
On the stream, I can just press the giveaway button and it rolls random people. I can do that a bunch of
Yeah,
times if you want.
it's a really cool app. It's a really cool extension.
Yeah, we should.
Want to
get
do that?
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's do it. Fix it.
All right, first roll.
How
Here we
many
go.
do you have?
Do the people have to be following you to win?
Preferably yes.
All right, this person's not following. Sucks for you.
So guys,
Yeah.
click on that nice little follow icon, and you can win.
Dermies, I think, already has one, right?
Yeah, he does.
How many
Dermies.
codes? A lot. I was
Next
gonna
is
give away
few.
like
people.
For-
Why are you not following the stream? I'm gonna give everyone 20
number.
seconds to
How
follow the
many
stream
do you
before I start
have?
rolling again.
I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4,
12.
7, 8,
11.
12. Yes,
Damn it.
I have 12.
Wait, Stermies does not have a PAX code.
Should I give them all away today?
Yeah.
Just do 5 today. Do 5 today.
Okay.
Save the rest for when we do
I-
our Curse Gaming thing.
I have a feeling
Yeah.
we're about to get a giant thing from Duke. It's gonna be
I'm gonna give
I
you
don't know.
some more, but if you're not giving them away, then that's
Oh well,
fine.
then I'll give them all away. I've just saved them for when we need them, and so if
yeah, yeah. If
we
you
can
want to give us
them away,
more,
I'll be happy
yeah.
to throw them out.
Yep. We
But we
won't.
got a handful, and we're not giving them out on our stream until the next convention. So I figure I might as well
Great.
Sweet,
get
we
some
can do that.
out there.
So
Hang on.
yes, give those follows, and Fixie
Yep.
pick somebody.
Follow the stream.
All right, here we
and
go.
We will
First
roll
winner
it out,
is.
baby.
Damn it. It's all the BLG.na guys. Nuke 54 is the first winner. Nuke 54. If you don't have a pack skin, don't take it. Just say reroll.
Dun
Reroll.
dun, Nuke, are you here?
Ba-dum.
Gotta wait for that.
No.
Type it in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You
yeah,
got it.
yeah.
Doesn't
Yep.
have one, so
Yay!
it's
So I will PM you the code.
doing the next one. The next winner
Okay,
is
everything.
not following, and I'm really depressed at this person right now.
Sturmy said that he actually didn't have a code. He
I'll,
rolled his name.
we'll take that.
Didn't have a code.
We'll take that internally here.
He rolled his name.
Yep.
Alright.
We'll take him out back and beat him with reeds.
Nice.
We'll take him out back and beat him with reeds.
Ah, that's me. There we go. It's all
The
right.
next winner is O Donkey. OH Donkey.
Which is conveniently right under the first winner.
It is.
Hey, it's random,
nice.
man.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Gotta love that.
There's that. Dunk.
And send.
Oh, Red's still in the chat, by the way, because I'm a dummy.
Nice. Oh Donkey.
That's
Are you
convenience my
there?
prize as long as I win something. Absolutely, Starmy.
All right, re-rolling.
Re-rolling, it's time to follow to win.
Guitarist.
Yay, guitarist! Everybody likes guitarist.
Mm-hmm.
He plays a mean guitar. If
Oh.
you haven't actually
I heard that
listened to
about
it, then you should because he's really good.
There's guitarist. All right, rolling
Great.
again.
And Demon's ninja fast.
So the next one is Miko Van. Miko Van.
Nice.
Sending him as fast as I can. So we have 2 now. We're working on 3.
Yep, Miko Van is in chat. He wants a key, so there you go.
Yay.
All right.
Sending him out.
The next
Follow to
person
win.
Is,
Follow
I'm
to win.
not going to be able to pronounce this.
did.
Nah, screw it.
Giggity?
Giggity Gixu Strats. There you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
buddy.
And I'll do
Yay.
next 4. I think do one more or do them all.
Yeah, keep going.
Oh, let's see. I
All
got
right.
Like,
yeah, just keep going.
Yeah, keep going for a little bit. Although I probably want to keep like 4 for this team. Then.
Roadkill is the next person.
Just
Roadkill
debut
Grill.
tomorrow.
Roadkill Grill! Yay! Roadkill Grill's been following us since Super Monday Night Combat. So
Nice, that's awesome.
He's been following us forever.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Now, who was the person before Roadkill? Because there he is. Never mind. I already have it up. Because I'm about to start losing people.
Bum bum bum.
Do. Are you guys gonna have a new skin for next pack or next convention? Or are you gonna just use this one again, Duke?
We'll be using that one for a little while.
Okay.
Cool.
Works like a charm.
At least through the end of the year. So
Nice.
since it's the 2012 one.
Nice. So, in order to win the pack skin, you have to follow our stream.
Ta-da.
It's awesome. We don't stream all that often on here, so
Nope. I
won't
just
get-
stream
you
on
won't
Saturday
get-
morning and stream on tonight.
Yeah, it's not like following hi-rez or Lassie's first, just like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah. Suitin22 not responding.
Not responding.
Dun, dun, dun.
No.
Well, I guess,
Asian Lightning, #1 name, not
Asian
North America.
lightning.
There's
Nice.
Suitin. There you go. Suitin didn't respond.
All right.
And there's Asian Lightning. I don't know how many that is. What is that? 7 there with Asian Lightning?
7 with Asian lightning.
Slow down some. I was gonna
Yeah.
say, why don't we go ahead and give out the rest of these after we just like close down close down the VOD, so that way people watching the VOD don't have to watch us give out skins they can't win.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's a good
So
point.
why don't you
Yeah.
guys go ahead and do your shout outs and Fixie keep
well
it rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going then.
Keep
Yeah.
rolling and then just like save all the names that you get, tell them in chat, and then just save them and we'll do them all when we're done.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just do a big list, or I can just send you the keys and you can send them.
Yeah, that's fine. You can do that to me. You can do that too. It's fine. Just
Okay.
send me the last of the keys and I'll do the rolls. And
Okay. All right, so I guess Wolfy, you go first since you are not BLG.na here.
Just
You
shout
are
out to the
the
usual people,
privilege.
man. The team, the friends, the streamers, everybody on Twitch, you guys, especially the viewers. You know, shout outs to the viewers. You know, that's my whole shout out. Fuck everybody else. Shout outs to the viewers who come and watch us every day.
Yeah,
Viewers like you.
I
Deserve
agree.
their recognition.
Viewers are OP.
They are. Man mode the viewers.
Without the viewers, would be nothing, man. It's all about the viewers.
yep.
That's what Fixie
Exactly.
says. All right, Sparks, what do you got for us, sir?
I mean, Wolfie just took all the words out of my mouth. I mean, really, just the team, BLG.na doing big things. I got to thank the stream. Got to thank you guys for having me here. hi-rez for making this beautiful game that I, eat, sleep, and breathe with. I don't do anything else, and I love it. And the viewers, man, just keeping us alive and just keep it. Let's get the community bigger and let's make a real run for our money here.
Yep, I agree. Zapman, go for it.
Yeah.
It doesn't leave me much to say. Just shout out to the team and Demon, you guys, and the viewers. So thanks for having me on the show.
No
It's our
problem.
pleasure, sir.
We enjoyed it. Fixie, do you want to
Fixie.
shout out, and then we'll let Duke go last.
Just Google me, bro. No, again, like it's all about the viewers. Without the viewers, we don't have Smite. We don't have a game that we all know and love. We don't have a game for us to, help propel into the esports limelight. There is nothing without the viewers, and I hope you guys continue to come watch. Us here on Beyond the Rift. Bart when he's streaming, Lassis, Wolfy, Zapman, all the teams, post on the forums, provide positive feedback, positive reinforcement, things you might want to see changed in a very positive light. Let's help keep this community going forward and not going backwards like the other MOBA communities. I can't ask anymore. That's it.
Nice.
Great.
Duke, do you have any last words and wisdom?
Yes, last words of
Shout-outs,
wisdom
maybe?
from Duke, sir.
You guys can follow me on Twitter now. I'm all about the tweets.
Yay.
Just hi-rez Duke on Twitter.com. And yeah, I appreciate what you guys do. This is a very unique show, just for a community-related outreach. It's really, really cool, and everyone in the office thinks it's really, really cool that you guys do this and that you do it for us. And so we're humbled and appreciative of it, even if Fixie yells at me.
We'll smack
Bro,
Fixie next time he yells at you.
I
smack him a lot.
apologize, and you didn't deserve it. You didn't even design the god. You were just here, talking to him about us, and I listened to you. That was really rude of me.
You
I am
really don't
sorry,
have
like,
to
honestly.
apologize again. I just wanted to mess with you a little bit. But no,
Well, I do feel
it's,
bad.
It's
I
cool.
do feel jerkish.
It's
Well,
cool.
Fixie, you're wrong about one thing. Duke does everything at high-res, so whenever something goes wrong, it's always his fault.
Exactly.
That's the truth.
It's always his fault.
Yep.
Right. So
I even fix everyone's car that plays the game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if your car's ever fixed wrong, it was obviously my fault.
it is. And then he'll have to call me to come do it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Especially the battery.
Yes, especially the battery.
The battery.
Fixie. Every time I talk to Fixie from work, he's like, "Oh, he's just replacing the battery."
On an Audi, all day, every day. It's all you do. I know it.
So, all right. Well, thank everybody for joining us. I would like to give a shout out to Duke for joining us every week. It seems he loves to be here, and I love having him here. And I just wish he would be here more often. I mean, what more could we ask for? Duke is
sorry
awesome.
I always show up late, but
Hey,
yeah.
no, whenever
got home
you
really
show up
late,
is
so.
awesome because you're spending time away from your family, and I mean, we can't ask you to do that. If you have free time, we'd love to have it, but I mean, it's your time, so we want you. We hope that we are honored by your presence. So I would like everybody in the viewers to also think that too. That he's spending his time, sitting here when he could be sitting down watching TV or talking to his wife. So we do very much appreciate that, and same thing from Bart and all the other high-res guys that join us. That it is quite a bit out of their day to come and join us. So
It just shows
Thank you guys so much.
dedication, and we really appreciate that
Yes.
coming from you guys. It means a lot.
it does. So don't give them hard times. If you have opinions that you want to share with the high-res guys, give them reasons why you want something changed, not just I hate this. Tell them what they can do to improve it. Other than that, that's you can follow me on Twitter. Follow us here on the stream. You can follow my other stream, which is actually Demon Machine, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's it. Make sure you guys check out BLG.na.
Yep.
We have our guides up. You can see some of our pro guides. Vote on them. Write your own.
Yes.
We've got some really good ones on there, really bad ones that you can go downvote. And also check out the stream section, and we have some pretty active forums with some nice, entertaining things on them usually.
Yes, they do.
that's kind of half the fun of it is rating down the bad ones.
Mm-hmm. It is. It is. I enjoy it.
No, it's 3/4. It's 3/4 of the fun of it.
Nice.
Anyway, sorry.
Well,
yeah, no problem.
All right, well, we will go ahead and stop here. Thank you guys for joining us, and see you guys next week, Thursday at 9. Join
Thursday
us
at 9.
Eastern Standard Time. Thank you all.
Stay for keys.
Yes, stay for
Have a good one.
keys.
Stay for keys.
We'll continue that in a minute.